Hey guys, welcome to the Fight Tonight channel. Bob Arum reveals the champion who will give Gervonta Davis more difficult fight than Ryan Garcia. Bob Arum is confident that the current WBC champion will give Gervonta Davis one of the toughest fights in his career. However, since the boxer in question is not as big as Davis, last opponent Ryan Garcia, the 92-year-old doubts if Tank would show interest in the fight. But should the fight happen, it would be one of the biggest events in contemporary boxing. Although the boxer in question was heavily criticized for his performance in his last fight, Arum is confident that the 26-year-old would put Tank in a fix. So who is he? And why would Davis not want to fight him? Well, here is what Bob Arum said. Bob Arum believes the 21-0 boxer will give Gervonta Davis a run for the money. Of late, Shakur Stevenson took to social media to announce his retirement from the sport. However, Stevenson also implied he would return if he were offered big fights. On that note, several fans thought Shakur Stevenson versus Gervonta Davis. In this context, when Ben asked whether or not Stevenson versus Davis could come to fruition, Bob Arum said, "As far as Shakur is concerned, he wants to do that fight. And it's not Heyman, it's not anybody. Gervonta Davis has to want to do that fight. Remember, he came off a big payday with Garcia, and even thought it's a much more difficult fight, fighting Shakur does not give him the same payday," added Arum. Because again, Garcia inflates the numbers because of his social media presence. That's not a knock on Garcia. It's a compliment that he is able to bring that to the table. But again, it has nothing to do with the fighter's ability or inability. It is what it is, Arum explained it. In this connection, it is worth mentioning that Shakur was confident about getting a fight against Tank. Shakur was confident he would fight Tank Davis. In August last year, before the Eddie Santos fight, Shakur Stevenson told the Second Win podcast he saw a fight with Davis happening in the future. Likewise, he even claimed Shakur versus Davis would be the biggest boxing fight in the world. When it took place in addition, he had said, "I think Tank will sign that contract, and I'm gonna sign the contract too." However, a month later, Shakur revealed why he could not make an offer to Davis. On the $1 million worth of game podcast, Stevenson labeled Tank as the pay-per-view star. In his opinion, since Davis was a bigger name, Shakur could not send Tank an offer. However, he emphasized that he was open to fight Davis any day. Do you think Shakur Stevenson will give Gervonta Davis a taller fight than Garcia? Let us know in the comments below. Eddie Hearn gives latest update on Gervonta Davis vs Conor Benn negotiations. Conor Benn's promoter Eddie Hearn has given an update on a potential fight with Gervonta Davis. Benn got his 2024 off to a winning start with a hard-fought victory over Peter Dobson in Las Vegas. "We've made Tank an offer. It's a big fight offer, and there is a lot of upsides on pay-per-view and the gate that I think he needs to explore as well," Hearn said. "It's not really a fight anticipated, but I think it's a fight that could happen," the functionary said. Thanks for watching guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.